Thought I'd share with you something I got in the mail today. This is a Falconrods Buku branded rod. And what's significant about this rod? I'll show you the marking on it. It's a cool looking little rod. It's about $50 retail. And this rod has a little EVA foam handles. And of course it doesn't have a super expensive reel seat, but it is a Fuji reel seat. And it has Fuji guides on it. It's a medium light, moderate taper rod, and it is 5 foot 9 inches long. It's short. It's a short rod. So why would I buy something like this? As a bass angler, this is normally pretty small. The reason is because I am a big fan of the Ned rig, and this technique was named after a guy named Ned Katie, I think is how you pronounce his last name. K-E-H-D-E, I believe. And for years, he has been fishing, basically finesse fishing. Light line, light tackle, super small jig heads. In fact, here's kind of something that he would fish. This is I think this is called the Ticklers by Z-Man, this bait here. And you know, it's about 3 inches long, maybe a little longer than that, maybe 3.5. And it has a mushroom style head. This head is probably a 1/5 ounce head, which is way heavier than what he normally throws. His favorite for a long time was a mushroom shaped head made by Gopher Tackle that was 1/20th of an ounce. So this is considerably heavier. For years and years, he's fished with like the same 6 rods, 6 spinning rods. I don't even know what brands they are. They're really old, and ancient open face reels. But as I was reading some forums here on Midwest Finesse Fishing, he does articles for Midwest Fishing Magazine, I think it's called, or he has a website or a newsletter that he puts out called the Midwest Finesse Fisherman, I think. And on that, on the forums of the Midwest Finesse Fishing Forum, people who still fish with Ned and know Ned personally say that this is one of his new favorite rods. So apparently he's starting to upgrade rods. And I thought, you know, I actually do have a medium light rod, a couple for crappie and bluegill. But I thought I'm going to try the same rod that Ned uses for Ned rigs and see how it works. So I've got a reel that I'm going to use. This is a great reel. This is a Daiwa spinning reel. And this is an Aegis, Aegis, or I don't know how they pronounce it. It's a nice spinning reel designed for light tackle. And I've got super fine line on here. This is a Berkeley line called Nanofill. And this is 12-pound test, believe it or not. It looks like a thread. You almost can't even see it. And I really like the Nanofill because it casts a really long way. And the diameter is so tiny. This 12-pound test is smaller than a fluorocarbon 4-pound test line. I mean, it's super tiny diameter. And put a little clear leader on there and go to work with it. So that's what I'm going to fish with. And I'm going to take this Ned rig out to one of my fishing ponds and try it out and see what it feels like to Ned rig with a super small rod. I think it's going to be fun because what I have learned fishing like medium light rods is that when you get a fish on, even a small fish, it's powerful and it feels really fun trying to land a really small fish. So let's take it out and see how it does today. So I'm excited today because I'm going to try this new Ned rig rod, the Falcon Buku SR, that Ned, the real deal himself, Ned Katie, apparently uses this rod. So I'm gonna try it out and see if it treats me as well as it does him. Thought I'd show you my little finesse box that I like to carry with me. On this side, I have about anything you could think of. I got drop shot hooks, Neko hooks, Senko, and wacky Senko hooks, and then shaky heads. So this right here covers me for about everything. And then I have a whole Ned rig side because I like to fish with Ned rig with a lot of different weights and stuff. So you can see on this Ned rig side, I got the 1/5, the 1/10, but I'm going to go down to this 1/20th size. I really like it, and see how that does for us. I've got an exposed hook. Don't know if the exposed hook is actually a good idea here. There's not a ton of stuff in this pond, but there is a lot of grass towards the edge. So I'm just gonna have to play it by ear. This thing definitely casts a country mile for such a tiny rod. I'm hoping I've got some spawning bass along this bank here. And I believe that if I do, I'm gonna catch a fish on the Ned rig. I really like the feel of this rod, this little rod. It's a 6 foot tall rod, 5 foot 9 inches. Medium light. It does really well casting. Yeah, geez. It's fun. It's actually fun to cast this thing. It really is very fun. I'm using a 5-pound test leader on this 12-pound nanofill. Okay. Here's my 1/20th mushroom, 1/20th ounce mushroom head. And I've got a nice, cool, this is a great bait. I really like this one. This is called the Yammy Fish by Jackal. I think it's just an excellent color. Chartreuse green pumpkin, 3-inch. Looks great, doesn't it? Oh, there's a fish. That's a fish. Not very big, but it's a fish on. Fish on. Yammy fish. Okay. How about it? The old yammy fish right in the top of the mouth, which is where you should get them. First fish on my new Ned rig rod. All right. Finally a fish on this thing. Light line, little fish, but hopefully I can persuade a bigger fish to check it out. So, one bad thing about a Ned rig is it's really a terrible search bait just because it takes so long to fish it. So, in order to really be effective with this thing, I believe you should already be fishing in spots where, there's a fish right there. Should be fishing in spots where you know there are fish. And as long as you know you're on fish, as long as you know you're on fish, you will catch them. The Ned rig is pretty dependable. When you got light line, like 5-pound test, of course you can't horse them. But luckily with such a small, 2-pound fish basically, he's hooked. He's not going anywhere. Turn him down. Pretty easy to do. And you just there he is. Inhaled. Likes the yammy fish. Faux show. Likes the yammy. Nice little guy. But a fish is fun. Even a little fish. It's fun, fun, fun. Goodbye, fishy. Sweet. That's 2. There we go. Fish on. Fish on. Oh! No. Thought he was coming off. He's not big, but he's, well, it's a better fish. It's definitely a better fish. Look at that. Yeah. Not bad. Look at there. He's over 2. He's definitely over 2. All right, fishy, come on in here. Come on in here. Yeah. Nice. Sweet. Right in the top of the mouth, right where you want it. Beautiful. Beautiful. The old shake and glide. Shake and glide. Shake and bake. I'm impressed with the Buku rod for sure. It's a medium light, but it really feels pretty stout for medium light. I mean, you can still tell it's a medium light. But this moderate action is really critical, I'd say. And a moderate action means that there is basically a taper throughout the length of the whole rod. And why that's important, you don't want an extra fast or a fast tip, because you'd have a whole lot of backbone here, and then you'd have all your bend would just be in the tip. And with a little light rod like this, a medium light rod, and a tiny hook like the Ned rig hook, what you're going to do is either pull it out of their mouth, or more likely, if you had a fast tip or an extra fast tip, you just bend out the hook. But this moderate taper really assists you as a fisherman from doing that. So basically, by having a moderate taper, you're going to have more hookups. You're going to lose less fish. And that's what I've found. I've been really happy with this so far today. I'm going to go around and see if I can catch just a few more before the day's over. The Buku SR by Falconrods is a pretty sweet rod. I really enjoyed fishing with it today.